Good evening, everyone. We are Group 3 and we will be presenting on social identity. In Group 3, we have Afisha Lewis, Anisha Jarrett, Elva Abrahams Garcia, Jeremy Cornelius, Maya Green, Natasha Campbell, Shari Ferguson, and me, Jamie Warner. An identity is a person's sense of who they are based on their group membership.
Dream bike. Hey, yo, Dominique. I've been missing you.
You don't know me.
I know you from my dreams.
I already told you and your cornrows to leave me alone.
Why you gotta diss the Rose? They never did nothing but love you.
Why are you trying to play hard when you're nothing but a white boy playing dress up?
You hurt me, Dominique. You hurt my heart and my soul. You think color's nothing but a skin tone. See my brother Nick there? We was in juvie together. He sees past my skin into my dark, black soul.
Carl! Fiona's pregnant and I want the whole family to talk her into keeping it. You in?
No, white girl, I don't know you.
Mr. Gallagher. I'd like a word with you in my office.
The history. Henry Tajfel was born on June 22nd, 1919 in the city of Włocławek, because it's a Polish word, Poland, and passed away on May 3rd, 1982. He was a Polish-born British social psychologist who was best known for his concept of social identity, a central idea which soon became a theory. He is often remembered in Europe for the attempt he gave to create a European style of social psychology, one that has recognized the social, political, and historical factors within which social behavior takes place. Tajfel and his student John Turner developed the social identity theory in the 1970s. Social identity theory proposed the valuable distinction between individual and collective responses to social disadvantage and present them as an incompatible. Tajfel and Turner, 1979. Social identity leads individuals to categorize themselves and other salient groups into us versus them. This is known as in-group and out-group. The central hypothesis of social identity theory is that group members of an in-group will seek to find negative aspects of an out-group, thus enhancing their self-image.
We characterize people in the same way. We see the group to which we belong as the in-group, as being different from others as the out-group, and members of the same group as being more similar than they are. Social characterization is one explanation for prejudice attitudes. For example, them and us mentality, which leads to in-groups and out-groups.
Social identity theory demonstrates how a person can create and define their place in society, which means how this individual can place themselves in a certain group and become comfortable. There are three stages in this theory: social categorization, social identification, and social comparison. At this point in our presentation, we have reached the key components of the social identity theory. We have the first component being categorization, deciding what groups the individual belongs to. We categorize objects in order to understand them and identify them. In a very similar way, we categorize people, including ourselves. In order to understand the social environment, we use social categories like black and white.
Going to be your guide to North Shore. Now, where you sit in the cafeteria is crucial because you got everybody there. You got your freshmen, ROTC guys, preps, JV jocks, Asian nerds, cool Asians, varsity jocks, unfriendly black hotties, girls who eat their feelings, girls who don't eat anything, desperate wannabes, burnouts, sexually active band geeks, the greatest people you will ever meet, and the worst. Beware of the plastics.
Number 2. What is social identification? Deciding how compatible the individual is with the group. In the second stage of social identification, we adapt the identity of the group that we have categorized ourselves as belonging to. For example, you have categorized yourself as a nursing student. The chances that you will adapt the identity of a nurse and begin to act in the ways you believe a nurse should act is very likely.
Number 3 is social comparison. On to social comparison. This is the final stage of the social identity theory. In this stage, this is where comparisons are made between the in groups and the out groups.
But it is all over. It's when people assume I'm a nurse. Or when I go to get on an airplane with my first class ticket and they tell me that they're not boarding coach yet. It's like a low buzz in the background, and sometimes you don't even notice it, and sometimes it's loud and annoying, and sometimes...
We've all got blood in our veins, within skulls, brains, our hair, Trinidadian green. Within the culture, multiple strains have found its way into different homes and spaces. Things that help us identify where our place is, whether at a bar or a church to give praises. We decide what group our names are attached to like hyphens. We strive then to make our closest friends into family. An inward group filled with unity and things we share like goodies to gain sustenance. Each group has its own DNA in particular, like mom.
The book of Luke 10 verses 25 to 37 tells the story of the Good Samaritan. It tells about a man that was traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he was attacked by thieves who left him half dead on the road. Both a priest and a Levite happened to pass through that same road at different times, but none of them stopped to help him. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. In the ancient world, relations between Jews and Samaritans were indeed strained. There are numerous reports made by Josephus, he was a Jewish historian from the 1st century, about Samaritans harassing Jewish pilgrims traveling through Samaria, Samaritans scattering human bones in the Jerusalem